And we are back. Welcome back to the next Premier League predictions video after a night where the inevitable became reality. Steven Gerrard has been sacked by Aston Villa. Something that I did predict in the season's predictions video right at the start of the season. I just never saw it working out for him. I didn't rate him as a manager. I didn't think he was that impressive when he was at Rangers. And from what I saw at the end of last season, it's no surprise to me to see him go here. Granted, he has had some very bad luck. Losing Diego Carlos essentially for the season the moment he signed was a massive loss. He was a marquee signing for them. Coutinho just hasn't really worked out, and I sort of look at Aston Villa and he was constantly changing the team, changing the formation. They never really had an identity. They definitely had no leadership. I think stripping Tyrone Mings of the captaincy was the right decision, but John McGinn's not really done it either. It's just all been a bit of a mess at Aston Villa, and I think it was, like I say, inevitable that Steven Gerrard lost his job. And they have a good squad of players, Aston Villa. I think the right manager, if he comes in, could get them playing and get them moving back up the table. Links with Mauricio Pochettino already this morning. I think that would potentially be a very good fit. Whether or not he would be interested in taking the job might be another matter, but if Villa can get Pochettino, I think that is a very good step in the right direction for them. Other than that, it was a week where, sadly, once again, it was a very low-scoring game week on the field, which, as we look into the results for game week 12, it's been a very low-scoring week on the predictions as well. And these were, of course, the games that were played over the last few days, and these were the results. And I said on Monday's video that one of the two games on Tuesday would be 0-0, and I picked the wrong one. Southampton with a great result away at Bournemouth. I couldn't believe Chelsea didn't beat Brentford. And the one that really surprised me the most was Tottenham. And I couldn't believe how poor Tottenham played against Manchester United. But I don't care, because Manchester United were fantastic and got the win. So I'm obviously not going to complain about that. But from a predictions side, it wasn't the best. Thankfully, we did get some points from Liverpool and Leicester. And, of course, Newcastle off that brilliant Almiron goal. So all in all, it was a slow game week score of just 3, bringing the season score now up to 74. As always, please let me know down in the comments how you got on for the midweek fixtures, and let's look ahead to another big full game week in game week 13. And I'll be honest with you, I think this is one of, if not the hardest game week we've had to call so far. There's a lot of games that could go either way, and we start with Nottingham Forest and Liverpool, which, in my opinion, isn't one of those games. I would thoroughly expect Liverpool to take the win in this one, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 win in that regard. Forest haven't been too bad defensively. I know Henderson made a lot of saves against Brighton, but Brighton have still been playing reasonably well. Liverpool, I thought, could have done better against West Ham. I thought after the Man City game, they'd be a little bit more gung-ho, and we'll touch on that in the fantasy football video tomorrow when it comes to Salah, but I don't see them running away with this one, so I think 2-0 is a fair result, and who knows, maybe Nottingham Forest pull off a result in that one. Next up, we have Everton and Crystal Palace, two sides that, again, are playing very, very well, but haven't been great at scoring, so it does make this a very hard game to call. Everton have been very good at home, with the exception of that loss to Manchester United, and again, like I say, Crystal Palace have been playing very well recently. So what I'm going to go for in this one is a 1-1 draw. I really do see all three results possible in this one, so I'm just going to go down the middle. And yeah, wouldn't surprise me if either side got the win. Next up, we have Man City and Brighton. And as we joked about all of last season, the only two results that I got right for Brighton last season were the two Man City games. And shock horror, I'm going to go for a Man City win once again. I'm going to go for 3-0. I don't really see Brighton scoring, he says, and then it'll happen. But they've not scored in their last couple of fixtures since Graham Potter left. It's not for lack of chances, it's just they've not been going in the net. And I think against a team like City, they're not going to get anywhere near as many chances. So I don't really see Brighton scoring. And then you just always expect City to grab at least 2 or 3 goals the way they're playing at the moment. So I think 3-0 is probably about the right one to go for. Next is the main event of the weekend. We have Chelsea taking on Manchester United. It is the evening game, and I'm going to go 1-0 Man United. Look, We played so well against Tottenham, and a part of me thinks if we go out and play that same style of play again, we'll beat Chelsea. Because Chelsea, as well as they've played under Graham Potter so far, it's not been full gear yet. They didn't really deserve more than a point against Brentford. Brentford had an awful lot of chances. Even the Aston Villa game, we spoke about Gerrard earlier. Aston Villa were fantastic against Chelsea last weekend, and I thought we were unlucky to lose 2-0. So I really think if Manchester United play the way they did against Spurs, which isn't out of the question in the slightest, I really think we get the win. I think it's only going to be one goal, one way or another. I think the team that scores first will win the game, and I'm backing Manchester United to get that goal, because I'm a Man United fan, and it is what it is. On to Sunday then. We start with Aston Villa, and they take on Brentford. And again, I just don't know where to put this one. Brentford were well merited for the draw against Chelsea, as we just said. Aston Villa now don't have their manager. They're not going to have a new manager in charge by Sunday, so it'll probably be Gary McAllister taking charge of the game. I just don't really know. Like I say, it's a very, very tough week of fixtures all round. I'm just going to go for a 2-2 draw. I think both sides are capable of scoring goals. And when it's 0-0, you can all laugh at me. And yeah, that's what I'm going for. Leeds and Fulham is the next one. And again, toss a coin, roll a dice. This could be anything. Leeds were poor yesterday in their defeat. Fulham were fantastic in their win. I am going to go for 2-1 to Fulham in that one. I think it is just about the fair result based on current form. Leeds haven't won now for 7 games running, and Fulham have been playing really well. So all the best to them, and I'm going to go for the Fulham win. Next up, it is Southampton and Arsenal. And again, the last time we saw Arsenal play, they were very lucky to beat Leeds, and Southampton have just gone to Bournemouth and won. But you have to say Arsenal have won all but one game so far this season, and on paper they are a better team than Southampton, so we are going to go for an Arsenal win. But I'm only going to go for 2-1 for the reasons I've just given. Then we have Wolves and Leicester, and the difficult fixtures continue, and I'm going to give it to Wolves because they are the home team. They have been defending reasonably well in the last couple of games. Yes, it didn't go right for them in the midweek fixtures, and Leicester did well last night, but I still think Wolves should be taking this one at home, and again, I'm just going to go for a 1-0 win for them. And then we have the main game on Sunday. It is Tottenham up against Newcastle. Tottenham looking for a response after the disappointing display at Old Trafford. Newcastle looking to continue their good run of form, unbeaten for, I think it's like 5 or 6 games now. A lot of draws, but a couple of wins in there as well. They travel to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and I think I still have to give Tottenham the win at home. Again, it wouldn't surprise me to see it be yet another draw for Newcastle, but at home, in need of a performance, I think Tottenham will just about do enough to beat Newcastle, and I'm going to go for 2-1 in that one. And finally, it is West Ham and Bournemouth on the Monday Night Football, and I think there's going to be no surprises if I just go for a 2-0 West Ham win. West Ham should be the better team in this game. Bournemouth will be looking for a response after their home defeat to Southampton, but again, if West Ham play the way they've played over the last couple of weeks, I think they will be definitely beating Bournemouth. And that is going to be it for today. As always, let me know down in the comments what you think is going to be the result of this week's fixtures. As always, they will be in the description, allowing you to copy and paste them down. But before we go, a quick reminder that if you do want to see even more football content from me, I have started uploading FIFA over on my gaming channel. A link to that and the most recent FIFA video will be available for you on screen now. And as always, if you are enjoying this series, please do consider dropping a like on the video, subscribing to the channel if you're new around here. I'll be back tomorrow for the next fantasy football video, and I will see you then. Thank you very much for watching.